your soulmate wants a lifetime with you. If this one thing falls into place, they have already imagined it, the life. The years, the quiet mornings, and the ordinary days that turn into a lifetime, even if they have never said it out loud, even if they barely admit it to themselves, your soulmate has pictured a future with you in it. But there is one thing standing between that dream and reality, one thing that has to fall into place before they can fully let themselves reach for it. So stay with me, and listen closely, because what you are about to hear is not just a story about wanting forever. It is the story of how deeply your soulmate longs for a lifetime with you, what has been quietly holding them back, and the one thing that, once it finally falls into place, could open the door to everything the two of you were meant to build together. Let me begin with the part you may not fully believe yet. Your soulmate wants this more than they have ever let you see. Beneath the calm exterior, beneath the caution, beneath whatever distance may have existed between you, there is a desire for something lasting. Not something temporary, not something casual, something real, something that holds. They have thought about what it would be like to wake up next to you, to build a home with you, to grow older alongside you. These are not small passing thoughts. These are the quiet hopes of someone who has already felt how rare this connection is. But wanting something and feeling ready to reach for it are two very different things. And that gap is where this story truly lives. Don't skip, because this is where you begin to understand what is really going on inside them. For all their longing, your soulmate has been holding back. And the reason is not what you might assume. It is not that they do not care. It is not that they want someone else. It is not that the feeling has faded. The truth is the opposite. They hold back precisely because this matters so much to them. When something feels temporary, people give it freely. But when something feels like it could be the rest of their life, they become careful. They slow down. They guard it, because the more something means to you, the more terrifying it becomes to risk losing it. That is what your soulmate has been carrying, a desire so deep it frightens them, a hope so important, they are afraid to fully trust it. They have wanted a lifetime with you, and at the same time, they have been quietly afraid of how much they want it. Don't skip, because now we come to the heart of it. The one thing, of everything standing between your soulmate and the future they secretly long for, it comes down to a single thing that needs to fall into place. And it is not money, it is not distance, it is not timing in the way most people imagine timing, it is not some external obstacle that the world has placed in the way. The one thing is safety. The deep, settled certainty that this love is real, that it will not vanish, and that they will not be hurt the way they have been hurt before. That is what has to fall into place. Your soulmate needs to feel, all the way down, that it is safe to give you there forever. They need to know that if they open the door completely, if they let themselves be fully seen, fully vulnerable, fully committed, they will not be met with disappointment. They will not be abandoned. They will not be made to regret choosing you. Until that certainty settles in, a part of them will always hold something back. Not because they want to, but because some part of them is still bracing for the possibility of being hurt. Don't skip, because to understand this, you have to understand where it comes from. Your soulmate did not become guarded by accident. Somewhere along the way, they learned that opening their heart could come at a cost. Maybe a past love taught them that giving everything is not always returned. Maybe they trusted someone who let them down. Maybe they watched promises break or felt the sting of being chosen and then unchosen. Whatever the source, they carry a quiet fear that the people who matter most are also the ones with the greatest power to wound them. So they built a wall, not to keep you out, but to protect the most fragile part of themselves. And every time the relationship grows closer to something permanent, that old fear stirs. It whispers warnings, it reminds them of past pain, it tells them to be careful, to hold back, to wait until they are absolutely sure. This is what you are up against. Not a lack of love, but the presence of fear. And those are two very different battles. A lack of love cannot be fixed. But fear, when met with the right kind of patience and consistency, can slowly dissolve. Don't skip, because this is where you start to see what is actually happening beneath the surface. While your soulmate has been holding back, they have also been watching. Quietly, carefully, looking for proof that it is safe to let go of their fear. Every steady moment matters to them. Every time you show up the way you said you would. Every time you stay calm when things could have gone wrong. Every time you prove through your actions, rather than your words, that you are not going anywhere. They may not tell you they are paying attention, but they are. They are gathering evidence. Building a case, slowly, for whether they can trust this with their whole heart. And little by little, every consistent reassuring moment is helping to tip the scales. This is why the one thing has not yet fallen into place, but is closer than you think, because it is not a switch that flips all at once. It is a foundation that gets built slowly, one reassuring moment at a time, until one day it becomes solid enough to stand on. Don't skip, because this is where your part in all of this becomes clear. You may be tempted to do more, to push for answers, to ask them to commit before they are ready, to demand proof of their feelings. But here is the truth. Pressure is the one thing that will keep this from falling into place. Because pressure feels like a threat to someone who is already afraid. It makes the wall taller, not shorter. It confirms their fear instead of easing it. What actually helps is the opposite of pressure. It is steadiness. It is patience. It is being the safe place they have been searching for. The more consistent you are, the more their fear quits. The more reliable you are, the more their walls relax. The more they feel that you are not going to hurt them or leave them, the closer that one thing comes to clicking into place. You do not have to convince them with grand gestures or perfect words. You convince them by simply being someone they can trust, again and again, until trusting you becomes the most natural thing in the world. That is what dissolves fear, not pressure. Presence. So be patient with their pace. Be steady when they hesitate. Let them feel that the door is open, without ever forcing them through it. Because the moment they feel completely safe, the very thing they have been longing for stops being something to fear and becomes something to reach for. Don't skip, because the shift that is coming is closer than it appears. Your soulmate is not stuck. They are moving even if it is slow. Every day that you remain steady, every reassuring moment that passes, the fear loses a little more of its hold. The certainty they have been waiting for is being built quietly, beneath the surface. Even on the days when nothing seems to be happening, there will come a moment when the scales finally tip, when the evidence they have been gathering becomes undeniable, when the safety they have been searching for finally settles into place, and on that day, the wall that has been holding them back will no longer be needed. The fear that has kept them careful will finally loosen its grip, and the lifetime they have only dared to imagine will suddenly feel possible to reach for. When that happens, you will see a different side of them. The guarded part will soften, the hesitation will give way to certainty, and the future they have kept hidden in their heart will finally come into the open. So here is what you need to hold on to, as this chapter closes. Your soulmate wants a lifetime with you. Not a fantasy version of you, but you. They have imagined it, hoped for it, and quietly longed for it more than they have ever shown. The only thing standing in the way is their need to feel completely safe. And that one thing is closer to falling into place than you realize. The fear that has held them back is fading. The trust that will set them free is growing. And the certainty they have been searching for is being built, moment by moment, day by day. Soon the one thing will fall into place, and when it does, everything that has been waiting just beyond the horizon will finally have the room to begin. So don't skip, because sometimes forever is not waiting on the world to change, it is waiting on one heart to finally feel safe enough to say yes, and that moment is closer than you think.